Hi guys, welcome back to Butterflies Don't Wear Underwear. When I was about 4 years old, I know this is hard to believe, but I was quite precocious, and I probably still am. I remember waking up bright and early before my family and decided I was going to independently butter a piece of bread on my own without any help. And come on, I knew I could do it. Like all kids, I felt that I was completely invincible. So here's me rushing off to the refrigerator. And let's be honest, it wasn't butter. We were a family of 6, so it was margarine. I grabbed this serrated butter knife from the drawer and I began to lather this beautiful yellow mixture on this piece of bread. And come on, needless to say, I was feeling quite proud of myself until I sliced open my index finger and my piece of bread quickly turned more red than yellow. Crazy enough, I still have the scar on my index finger after all these years. It's still there. You know, the first thing we try to do when we have a physical scar is we try to bandage it. We try to conceal it and cover it, but most often the best healing comes when we rip off that Band-Aid and expose it. Scars are funny things, aren't they? Some of them exist on the outside from bumps and bruises and falls and accidents that we experience. And as resilient as our bodies are, they're always a reminder of something that happened. And much like our external scars, we have internal ones too. We have scars that we carry with us for a lifetime. And these scars also have memories and stories. The scars outside of us heal much more quickly than the scars inside. And honestly, I think a big part of this is because we try to ignore the scars that are within us. And we don't see them every day, so we do our best to create distractions in our life so we can keep glossing over these lifelong scars, these wounds of courage, these badges of resiliency. One of my favorite authors, Kahlil Gibran, said, "Out of suffering have emerged the strongest souls. The most massive characters are seared with scars." Now, just for a moment, I'd like you to think about all of your external scars and all the stories that accompany them. Some of the stories will be funny. Some of the stories will invoke sadness. Some of them will make you laugh, and some of them will make you cry. But they all belong to you, and in their totality, they represent who you are. Your scars have created your stories. They are a part of your life. They are your life. They are the things that make you tender, that make you vulnerable, the things you hide from everyone else because you feel different, you feel weak, and the scars make you vulnerable. They're like a fresh wound that exists. But the difference is that they never really go away, and you try to hide them. So it's very tough for them to heal. But you know what? Scars are blessings. They remind each of us how strong we are because we continue to persevere through and in spite of these scars. Just pause for a moment and think about a day where you were suffering horribly on some mental and emotional level. Something that happened that was cutting you to the core. Did you share it? Or did you hide it? Did you hide the most shameful parts and smile in spite of the pain? When we're feeling overwhelmed by anxiety or depression, worry, or shame, Our automatic response is usually to try to make ourselves feel better. I mean, come on, doesn't this seem reasonable? Why would we suffer if we can avoid it? So what do? Maybe we try listening to music to cheer ourselves up. We go out, eat a delicious, decadent meal, or we stay in bed, or we drink too much, or we may even try to take some deep breaths and try to soothe our nerves. But these are Band-Aids, and they really don't help us figure out why we're feeling the way we're feeling. But you know what? Each and every one of you gets up every single day and makes a difference in this world. We're all unique, we're all independent, and we're all beautiful grains of sand on a beach. And try to remember, one grain of sand doesn't create the beach, but together we create a beautiful place of comfort and solace. Your scars, you know what? They make you unique. They make you special. And they remind you every day with every thought and feeling of your strength and your resiliency. Because no matter how much you've been wounded, you still have the courage to move forward. Guys, I want you to think again about a time in your life where everything around you was spinning out of control. Nothing, absolutely nothing was making sense. And it just seemed like one thing after the other. It honestly seemed never ending. Sort of like Elton John said, you felt like a candle in the wind. You felt like there was nowhere to turn. You were engulfed in a horrific sense of pain and anguish, and you likely didn't share the extent of these emotions with anyone. Perhaps you felt shame. It's so challenging for us to be vulnerable, and instead of perceiving ourselves with strength, we often see ourselves as weak. We feel we always have to be strong. We always have to be resilient. We always have to be warriors. But the greatest warriors are the warriors who wear their scars as a badge of honor. One of my favorite actors, Keanu Reeves, said, "If you have been brutally broken, but you still have the courage to be gentle to other living beings, then you're a badass with the heart of an angel." We have all had those things that bring us to our knees, and we can question, why is this happening? Our scars can serve as a map to where our bodies and our hearts have been, and also where they need to go. Scars can remind us that we're not only unique, but also strong enough to heal. I love that Wallace Stegner said, "Be proud of every scar on your heart. Each one holds a lifetime worth of lessons." But really, how can we move forward toward greater expression and self-care? How can we take a look at our scars so we have the courage to heal and share? And through this sharing, help ourselves and others heal by exposing our pain and courage. And then, guys, that beach will just grow. Well, we can start by identifying our feelings. And then I guess the challenge is we have to start questioning ourselves. Why the heck do I feel this way? Most of our beliefs and stories are based in some form of exaggeration or misconception, and that's based on our experiences. These have often been imposed upon us by other people. So please try to ask yourself questions to reveal the limitations in your thinking. And also try to remember that your sadness is attaching negative conclusions to the past. And the past is the past. We truly have to try to embrace a deeper meaning behind scars and use them as opportunities to grow in self-worth. Why do we often base our value on the opinions of others? then you have to try to replace these disempowering thoughts with more empowering ones. And guys, this is where the transformation happens. To transform destructive thoughts into ones that make you feel better in this moment. It's just like I tell my students when we're trying to learn the multiplication table. Repetition is key, guys. Don't hide your scars. Bring them out for you and everyone else. Be proud of your uniqueness. Be proud of you. Because when you let your light shine, it automatically helps everyone else shine as well. When we work on ourselves, we work on this entire crazy planet. And that makes us pretty darn awesome. And then in this way, we can go within to create greater hope, exposure, action, risk-taking, and thoughts that lead us to greater peace and empowerment. So we can go without despair, shame, and passivity. So, head to the beach and remember, we're all connected, grain by grain. We're all in this together. But you know what? It begins with one grain of sand. And that grain of sand is you. And remember, guys, never forget to take off those underwear and keep flying.